All right, how I thought and what I focused on changed a lot, especially from the 1 to 4 week period to the next 2 to 3 months after that, and then on. It changed a lot, and my perspective changed a lot as well. And I wrote it out here so it'll be a little bit more organized. Number one, that's when I didn't think about my pain at all. That was the very first like 1 to 4 week period, whatever period of time that was, when I was just in raw pain, didn't have my medication. That was definitely, I don't remember anything except being in extreme amounts of pain. At this time, I didn't have any thoughts of anything. I was just in survival mode. And then number two is definitely being depressed. After I had my pain medication, the first 2 months, it was just so hard just to accept I was in pain, to accept, where I was in my position. The next step is realizing I didn't want to be focusing and depressed about my pain. And now you can say, well, obviously I don't want to be in pain. Obviously I don't want to feel down just because I'm in pain. But for me, it was very different between not wanting to be depressed and having a total, darkness that I was focusing on, between realizing that it is my control and realizing that I can control whether I want to feel this way all the time. Step number 4 that I went through was after this 2-3 month period that I was going through after I got my pain medication, of where it was just depression and focusing on just how all the destruction that came into my life. After that, I started to accept it. I realized that I might actually have to live with this forever. That's what I told myself. What if I have to live with this forever? What will I do? And how am I going to change myself so I can morph into that? Before then, I was thinking as myself as two different things. Me, and then me now being affected by pain. That made me focus on what I was and who I was and what I want to become and what I hope to get back to. Which was terrible. You don't want to hope. You don't hope is making you climb higher for the eventual fall. That's what hope is. And there's a place for it, but for me, if I would have hung on to wanting to become better, I don't know where I'd have been. I sure as hell wouldn't be where I am now. Once I accepted who I was now, suffering and pain and who I was are completely different people. And once I realized that I might live with this forever and this is who I am now, and once I accepted that, my whole mindset changed. How I thought, how I coped, which is huge. This was the first real time that actually started opening me up to learn how to live with this pain. Instead of sitting in my room, in my bed, sulking, wanting to just jump off a freaking cliff. But once I did accept it, I have to be honest. I went through a period where I was like, I still couldn't believe it. I cannot believe I have to do this. But it was brief. It was not, I don't remember how much time, maybe a week, maybe, a couple days. There was a time where once I fully accepted that I was now this person, I was still sad inside. I still had to let go. I still had to let go of something as stupid as who I was. The next step that I went into after I finally accepted my pain and this is who I am, and I have no quarrels about that, and that I'm not unhappy that this is who I am now. The next step was finally letting go of thinking, why me? Why it's unfair? How could this happen to me? Why am I in pain? Well, not why, obviously medical reasons I wanted to find out. But from a philosophical standpoint, why me? I stopped thinking about why me and how unfortunate I was to what am I going to do to help myself? What am I going to do that's going to make it easier for me to live in pain? How am I going to think, and how am I going to go about living in pain? Once I reach the state of no longer thinking of, why me? Why do I have to go through this? To how I was going to live with my pain. What am I going to do every day to get better? What am I going to do every day to make my mind stronger? What am I going to do every day to be able to live with my pain better than the next day? Once I started thinking this way, that's when I really started to live again.